Ladies and gentlemen, my name is PythonGB. The 1.3 update for Terraria added a whole bunch of new weapons and item drops to not only existing events, but also to the new March of Madness event. And I thought it would be nice to go through each of the events that have a variety of weapon drops and showcase each of them. And so, in the first part of this mini-series, I will be showcasing to you the weapons of the Solar Eclipse. Now, prior to 1.3, the Solar Eclipse event only really had 2 weapon drops, and one of which wasn't even a direct drop. And back then, one couldn't summon a Solar Eclipse with a tablet either. And of course, the 2 weapons that you were able to get was of course the Sickle, as you can see right here, and then obviously the Terrorblade as well, which is still considered one of the best melee weapons in the game today. The 1.3 update added a whole bunch of new weapons, and as you can see, these are the 6 new things you can get. You can get the Toxic Flask, which is a mage weapon. You can get the Deadly Spear Staff, which is a summon weapon. The Psycho Knife, which is a melee weapon. The Nail Gun, which is a ranger weapon. You've got the Eye of Cthulhu, which is of course a yo-yo. And then finally a Butcher's Chainsaw, which once again could be classed as a melee weapon, but can also double up as a tool. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's go through each of these weapons, shall we? Alright guys, so just before we start, I want to mention that I obtained all of these weapons legitimately. Thus, the prefixes on them will affect the damage values that are on them. As you can see, we've got Godly, we've got Mystic, Deadly, Agile on some of these weapons. And secondly, this is for the 1.3 PC version of Terraria, and as such, recipes or drops may vary on console or whatever other platform you may be playing this game on. So without further ado, let's get into the first weapon, shall we? Alright guys, so the first weapon we're going to be taking a look at is the Death Sickle. The Death Sickle is a pre-1.3 Solar Eclipse weapon drop from the Reaper mob. Now, funnily enough, in the 1.3 update, the Death Sickle drop rate was actually significantly increased, because pre-1.3, I believe the drop rate was 0.4%, which is ridiculously rare. And I've just noticed there's a golden squirrel over here. I already have one, but oh well. That's kind of funny, actually, that the one just rolls onto the screen. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Oh, man. So, the special characteristics of this weapon are, not only is it auto-swing, I'm going to go up here so I don't kill it. Not only is it an auto-swinging weapon, as you can see, it shoots out a projectile. Now, the best thing about this weapon is if we go inside and we close the door, what you're going to notice is we can go ahead and pierce through the door, and the projectiles will still hit the enemy. Even if we're, like, right behind a wall here, it could still go through the wall and hit the enemy, which is a very, very unique and very awesome characteristic, if I do say so myself. So yeah, it's a very, very cool weapon, my friends. And let's just have a quick look at the DPS. Now, once again, I must remind you that these weapons I have were legitimately obtained, thus have prefixes on them. But as you can see, we're getting around 1200 damage per second, which is just ridiculous. Well, 1000 to 1200 depending on crit chance. But yeah, it's a pretty cool weapon overall. It really is. And I'm really happy that they increased the drop rate for it in 1.3. The second weapon we're going to be taking a look at is the Terrorblade. This is once again a pre-1.3 Solar Eclipse weapon. It is not a direct drop from the Solar Eclipse mobs. Instead, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and farm out some of the Mothron mobs, because what you need to do, the raw materials for this weapon are 2 Broken Hero Swords, a Knight's Edge, and an Excalibur. And basically what you need to do is you need to upgrade the Knight's Edge and Excalibur to the True Knight's Edge and True Excalibur, respectively. And then, of course, you could combine them to ultimately create the Terrorblade. The Terrorblade has a base damage value of 95, and once again, the special characteristics is not only is it fully auto-swing, it also shoots out a projectile, which is pretty awesome. The projectile of which appears to pierce 3 enemies, but if you go ahead and swing at the enemy itself, it will of course go ahead and damage a whole bunch of people at the same time. As you can see, the damage per second is slightly more than that of the Death Sickle, in that it's around 1300 to going up to 1500 I'm seeing now sometimes. And yeah, it's a very, very cool weapon indeed. It's useful for sort of crowd control in my opinion, and yeah, it's a very, very nice weapon to use. Alrighty guys, so now we're getting into the brand new 1.3 items for the Solar Eclipse. And we're starting off with the Toxic Flask. This is a magic weapon which is dropped by the Dr. Manfly mob, has a base damage of 46 and a base mana cost of 30, which yes, is quite a lot, but then I imagine it would need to be considering how crazy it is, because the special properties of this weapon is that if you go ahead and use it, it does splash damage. Yeah, it does splash damage, and not only that, it does lasting splash damage. The lasting splash damage appears to last for around 2 seconds or so, and as you can see, the damage per second goes pretty much through the roof. But as you can see, it absolutely eats through your mana, so you're going to have a pretty good mage set, maybe the mana flower, in order to continuously use this thing. But yeah, it is a great complement for any of you mages out there. So the good news is the Solar Eclipse in 1.3 has a summoning weapon drop. This is of course the Deadly Sphere staff, which is dropped by the Deadly Sphere mobs as a base damage of 50, and as with most other summoning weapons, it costs 10 mana to use. Now as you can see, this is the little guy right here, and unfortunately, because it's a summoning weapon, I can't really test him on these test dummies right here, which kind of sucks, but we'll go ahead and give him a run for his money against the Eye of Cthulhu in just a little bit here. But basically, the special characteristic of this is that after attacking a few enemies, he appears to change physical form, but by doing that, it only appears to be visual. It doesn't actually do any kind of different damage or anything like that, but it's still a pretty cool mob nonetheless to have, so it's a great compliment for you summoners out there. Alright guys, can you see me? Can you see me? This is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Psycho Knife. It is a melee weapon dropped by the Psycho mob of the Solar Eclipse. Now, similar to how Shroomite armor works, if you stay still with this knife in your hand, you will be granted invisibility. But not only that, if we go ahead and attack a mob, or one of these little things, as you can see, 482 crit damage. Now, if I just sort of de-invisibilize myself, which is not even a word, but oh well, as you can see, this does 70 damage. But once we stand still, as you can see, the damage absolutely skyrockets, which means we can go ahead and do some absolutely ridiculous amounts of damage with this weapon. As you can see, 638 crit damage. It really is ridiculous. It does have a base damage value of 70. It is fully auto, but as soon as you hit an enemy, your invisibility basically goes away. So I can't see this being used in too many situations. I think there's a lot of weapons in this Solar Eclipse event that sort of overshadow this, but it's still a fun little weapon to obtain if you want to sort of just say, oh hey, I've got all the weapons from the Solar Eclipse. So yeah, it's pretty cool, my friends. Alrighty guys, so moving on to the nail gun. This has a base damage of 85, so we're very much getting high up on the damage values now, my friends. It is dropped by the Nailhead mob in the Solar Eclipse, and the special characteristics of this are pretty damn insane. So as you can see, it shoots out nails. It uses nails for ammo. It is fully automatic, so you can just hold your click down. It will shoot out all of the nails. But as you can see, what happens is the nails will do an initial burst of damage, which isn't very much, and then it will proceed to exploding, thus doing a whole bunch more damage. It really is a very, very good weapon to have, and if we just go ahead and spam this around here, perhaps, let's see what kind of damage per second we can get. Yep, very much getting into the 4 digits here, friends. Look at it, man. It really is a very, very good weapon. I really love the exploding sort of characteristic of this weapon. Wait, does it do splash damage? Let's just have a look really quick. It does do splash damage, just a very little bit though. So it is a very, very good weapon for you rangers out there. So I imagine with the right ranger set, you're going to be able to get some pretty crazy amounts of damage per second. So yeah, very, very good weapon, my friends. But moving on. Okay, so the 5th new item for 1.3 we're going to be taking a look at is the Eye of Cthulhu Yoyo. This, of course, is another drop from the Mothron mini-boss in the Terraria 1.3 Solar Eclipse event, and it has a base damage, get this, of 115. It is a crazy amount of base damage, and because I've got a godly one, it does 132 damage, and this is without any armor or any accessories at all that will help increase my damage. So you can imagine that with the right set of armor, with the right setup, you're going to be able to get some pretty crazy amounts of damage out of this yo-yo. But like I said, it is a drop from Mothron, and as you can see, if we just start sort of bearing down on one of these little dudes right here, as you can see, it does a lot of damage against a single target. But once again, with the right yo-yo setup, with your yo-yo bag and your counterweights, I imagine the damage per second is going to be well into the 4 digits. As you can see, it's hovering around sort of 850, 950, around that, depending on crit chance. But yeah, it's a nice weapon to use against a single target, especially if you don't have your yo-yo setup. Yeah, let's move on to the final thing. Alrighty guys, so the final weapon you can get from the Solar Eclipse for 1.3 is the Butcher's Chainsaw. This is once again a melee weapon, but one of the special characteristics about this is the fact that it doubles up as an axe, which has 150% power, which is pretty awesome. Now, this weapon has a base damage of 120, which is just the most ridiculous thing ever. It is dropped by the Butcher mob in the solo Eclipse, and another special characteristic is if I were to go here and start bearing down on one of these guys, as you can see, it flies off a bunch of sparks. Now, as you can see, the sparks are actually going quite a fair way away, even to the point where sometimes it hits the 5th dummy back there. As you can see, the damage per second is just absolutely ridiculous, hovering around, what, 1800, 1900, I even saw 2100 at one point there. And once again, this is without the use of any accessories or armor. It is godly, so it does 138 damage, but like I said, even the default one will do a stupid amount of damage per second. It really is a good weapon, and it's also the one that does the highest amount of base damage in the 1.3 Solar Eclipse. So yes, guys, that's all the weapons done. Alrighty guys, so I thought I'd give these weapons a little bit of a test, and we're going to start out without any armor or accessories, and we're going to go ahead and defeat the Eye of Cthulhu with each weapon as we go along. Starting off with the Death Sickle. Where are you, buddy? Okay, here we go. Let's see how much damage it does. Hopefully a nice amount. I kind of want to see him go underground just so we can get the pierce ability as we normally would. So, boom, going underground, and yet we can still hurt him. Very nice indeed. Okay, so moving on to the Terrorblade. Okay, where are you, buddy? Come on, dude. Hey, buddy. Here we go. Let's try and get all the damage in here, shall we? Pretty cool. As you can see, once again, just doing a ridiculous amount of damage. And boom, he's dead. Okay, moving on to the Toxic Flask. Hey, buddy. As you can see, once again, the old splash and lasting damage doing its job right there. Very nice indeed. Still a pretty reasonable amount of damage per second. Okay, moving on to the Deadly Sphere Staff. We're going to let him do all of the work this time because obviously we haven't even had a chance of allowing him to do his stuff yet. As you can see, he physically changes form, but he actually doesn't do any different forms of damage. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting to say the least. I've just realized something because I don't have armor. I'm actually getting... I'm getting hurt by this dude. Oh well, I guess we just got to continue trying to avoid his attacks. It's not too difficult, especially when he drops all of his hearts. But yeah. Deadly Sphere Staff, pretty useful. Obviously, if you have a big army of them, then, you know, this thing is going to be a lot easier, isn't it? Alright, there we go. As you can see, in the second form, he has less defense now, which is cool. So let's get him over here. There we go. Go on, Sphere Staff, dude. You can do this, man. Come on. I'm not even sure where he's going at this point. He's just bouncing around like some crazy dude. And there he doesn't go. What the heck? Okay, killed him over there. That's weird. Alright, so we have the Psycho Knife next. Let's try and get Invis so we can actually hurt this guy. Right, boom. As you can see, 268 damage. And boom. If we stay still, we might actually be able to do the damage. Okay, and Invis, boom. 280 damage. Very nice indeed. Boom. See, look, doing a lot of damage. I've just realised we have the Deadly Sphere still on us. I do apologise. That was my bad. It's not really a fair test at this point, is it now? Oh, God damn it. Well, Invis... it's actually quite difficult because as soon as you get hurt, your Invis just goes away. Boom. You can't get the timing right, man. This weapon's not good. I am not a fan of the Psycho Knife, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's a good weapon, like I said, just to say, oh, hey, I got this thing, but... in terms of real use, it's not good. It really isn't. Alright, let's just kill him. And let's move on to the next weapon, the nail gun. Pretty cool. Here he comes. This is going to be easy, man. This is going to be easy. Look at this. Oh my goodness. And he's dead. Okay. We have the Eye of Cthulhu Yoyo next. Okay, where is this guy? Over here. Let's kill the Eye of Cthulhu with the Eye of Cthulhu because it'll be hilarious. And once again, down and out, real easy. And of course, we have the Butcher's Chainsaw now. This should be pretty easy as well. Right, where are you, dude? Hey, buddy! Go on, keep it going. There we go. The more times we can hit him, the more of the flame damage we can get. There we go. Come on, then. Come on. And there we go. Fantastic. I think to finish off this little session here, just to finish off, or just as a little bonus, we're going to put our accessories on. Very generalized accessories and armor. In fact, I'd say it's more of a sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Melee set. So we're going to defeat all three of these at the same time, because why not? Here we go. Let's start off with this thing here. This is going to be absolute craziness. What are we thinking first? I'm thinking this. Yeah, this is going to get crazy. Oh, man. Oh, I got a scimitar. Where the hell did I get that from? I have no idea. Here we go. chainsaw doing a nice amount of damage up in here. Okay, this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff. I feel like we should be using the spear staff as well. There we go. Might as well make use of everything and health. Come on, keep that going, man. Here we go. All the damage. As you can see, doing a very, very nice amount. Ooh, very, very good. Come on, man. Let's keep it going. And Destroyer is dead, but I am starting to get really, really hurt right now, so I think it's time to get ourselves a little bit of the old nail gun action going. Let's try and get out of here, maybe. Here we go. Okay, he's in his second form now, which is cool. There's some hearts over here, which is kind of awesome. Hey, there we go. Fantastic. Alright, so. The solar eclipse weapons, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very cool indeed. Very, very cool indeed. There's just no doubt about it. Come on! Is this green one down yet? He's about to be. There we go. He is now down. Are we going to be able to defeat these guys before it becomes daytime? Actually, to be honest, that should be pretty easy. Alright, this guy should turn to second form shortly. There he goes. Oh, man. Come on. Let's keep it going. This guy isn't even trying. And health. Here we go. This guy's about to die. And the twins are down, so that just leaves us with this guy here, right? This guy right here. Okay, pretty easy. Maybe we should try using the Eye of Cthulhu on this guy. Not bad, here we go. Let's just use this thing. 13k health. Yeah, like I said, this weapon does a very nice amount of damage towards one enemy. Right, I need him to come back down, preferably, so I can kick his butt. Okay, here he is. Alright, let's kill him. 6k, 5k, 4k. Yeah, very good weapon. Like I said, if you had the ideal yo-yo set, you'd be able to do a hell of a lot of damage. But ladies and gentlemen, I just got an achievement. Mecha Mayhem. Obviously, I haven't got that yet. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool, my friends. Alrighty, I think on that note, it's time to end the video. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you want to leave which of those weapons were your favourite in the comments area below, I'll be pretty interested to see what you think is your favourite. Aside from that, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like rating, and of course you can subscribe if you want to know when the future videos are out. But thanks for watching, guys. I've been Python, and I'll see you guys in the next video.